Alright guys, this is going to be one of my final videos on comparing these sizes and stuff. I'm still getting a lot of questions and stuff on this, excuse me, the sizes of the new 4S's compared to the 3S's and what's interchangeable and what can be this and that. So I'm going to try to sum this up a little bit in this video and talk about it a little bit. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to pair the Big Rock Crew Cab 3S to the Kraton 4S, and then I'm going to do the Outcast 4S to the Granite 3S. So I'm going to get these two up because they're obviously two different sizes. You guys know that, and I did show that in the video that the Kraton is longer than the Granite, but it's not as long as, let's say, the Big Rock and stuff. So let's take a look at the Kraton and compare that to the Big Rock first. Okay, so looking at these just like this, you would think that the Kraton is a lot bigger as far as lengthwise and stuff than the Big Rock, but it's actually not. The Kraton just looks a lot bigger and stuff because it has, of course, the bigger tires and wheels, and it has a wider stance. But what Arrma went in and did was they used this same long, I think it's called LWB, long or long based, or LBW, long based wheel chassis or something. I can't remember right off the hand, but they used the longer chassis that's on the Big Rock, the Centon, and also the Typhon for the 3S version. They also use that on this 4S version. You can't really tell too much, but I just did some measurements and stuff, and these chassis are the same length. Let's try to get these a little bit closer together. But because of the bigger tires on the Kraton, it does have a couple inches more as far as the lengthwise, or it looks like it lengthwise, than the Big Rock has. But the chassis are just the same. And just to show you kind of what I mean, Big Rock body's kind of dirty. If you wanted to do some modifications, it doesn't look the best on there because the wing and stuff is keeping it away. This Big Rock body will fit on the 4S Kraton. You probably have to get the body mounts and stuff for it and do some adjustments there. And I don't think these holes line up. I can't really tell too much there if those holes are lining up with that. But that's just showing you as far as lengthwise that this is the same length as it, but it does have a shorter wheelbase. These use the 3S A-arms on it, and these are going to use, well, I guess we call these the 4S A-arms on it, and the Typhon 3S A-arms. So, and then of course there's differences you guys see there with the shocks, the 16 millimeters compared to these 12 millimeter shocks, and then the front end is going to be a little bit different too. So you could possibly do kind of a hybrid and kind of mix and match some of the parts. Like if you want to do the Big Rock front bumper, you can possibly put that on this Kraton and, you know, just make it stand out more. Or if you just want to change the body out and give it kind of that Big Rock look, you can do that as well. Of course, other components that are different, we've already been through this through the unboxings and other things like that, is going to be the chassis brace, of course, shocks, and then you can't just buy these longer A-arms and expect to put them on here because I don't think these drive shafts are going to be long enough for these A-arms here, because you guys can see there, get that in close, kind of where, get this light going, there we go. Guys see kind of how long this piece of the drive shaft is compared to this one on the Big Rock. So yeah, it's dusty, dirty, cracked, shock, blue, and all that stuff. So but you guys see the differences there in size with that. And this bumper, of course, is the same bumper that's like on the Typhon and stuff, the 3S Typhon. So it's interchangeable. So the parts are interchangeable with one another. The sidewalls are the same. This just looks a little bit higher because the truck is sitting higher. But if you lower that down, that's going to be the same thing. So chassis brace, you would just need to get, you guys see the backs of those, some of those components there for that to fit that chassis brace on there if you wanted to do it. And this chassis brace did save me actually when I ran into, you guys saw when I was driving in the sand, I actually hit part of the sand pit that was coming into the grass with this. So it did, you know, save some of the car, and it does help with stability in driving the car as well. So that kind of sums that up as far as size-wise with that. And now on to the Outcast and the Granite. Of course, like I said, it's going to look like it's towering over. That's because of the larger tires and wheels and then the wider A-arms as well. But these two, as you guys see here, use the same shorter based wheel, the shorter base chassis. And you guys can kind of see that there. Like I said, if this was lowered down some, it would resemble a lot more. I mean, it just doesn't look like it just because these tires just make it look like a Goliath compared to David almost with this. So, and just so you guys know, if you wanted to get the granite body, and that actually looks pretty cool, and try to mount and put that on there, you could do that as well. You probably have to remove the wing so that this could sit down, but you could do that. And will this body fit on here? It will, but it won't look as good because it's not as wide. So it's gonna it's even gonna rub. You guys see there if you're turning left and right. This will actually rub on the body as you start trimming and cutting on it. And I showed you guys in another video that this body is too short for the 6S Outcast. I mean, it could fit on there, but it's just short. And then of course the 6S one's gonna be pretty big to fit on here. So, and like I said, the designs and stuff are gonna be similar, except for they did beef this up more with the bigger shocks on it. You guys can see there. This has a difference in the front and rear bumpers. The wheelie bar is placed by the spoiler on the Outcast. And then, of course, chassis brace. And then electronics are a lot different as well. So I wanted to, like I said, do this video pretty quick. It probably wasn't too quick. It's about 6-7 minutes. Just to kind of show this to you guys and kind of clear the air on the size of these and also some of the designs and what Arrma was actually doing with this, which still makes it good because if you wanted to convert your granite or your big rock to one of these 4S models, you can do that. You just have to make sure you get all the parts for it. That's going to be A-arms, turnbuckles, drive shafts. You're going to have to get the hex adapters and stuff for it as well. You might as well go ahead and get the shocks. But I mean, at that point, at this being $299, this being $399, you're almost just as good just going ahead and purchasing one of these. But that'll be your discretion on that. I mean, some people like to go through conversions and doing all that. But for me, if it's kind of out there, I just kind of go ahead and just get it. So, but anyway, guys, that was a video of this. Put your comments down below. I'd like to hear some of your thoughts and suggestions. And I may have missed one or two things on here. So go ahead and put that down there as well if you can remember. I know it's different things as far as spur gears go. One's plastic, one's metal, and things and that such. But basically, they are built on the same chassis as far as these two compared to the Big Rock and then also the Kraton and then the Sentin and stuff. So one day I will probably get all these out, all 6 of them out, and just run them all at once so you guys can see the performance of them all. So anyways, don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more videos. Thanks for watching.